Hello Stamper, welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm France Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And today it's Stamping 101 and it's all about masking. So I'm going to show you this card I got. You see I had to mask the top here so they're not on top of each other. And then the weeds. So you're going to have a good clue what the word masking for stamping after we're done with this. We're going to start with a piece of crumb cake that measure 3 by 4 and a quarter. Yes, 3 by 4 and a quarter. The stamp set that we're going to be using, it's the Wetland, and that's the only stamp set, only one stamp set. And when it comes to masking, what you want to do, and I'm here panicking because I had 2 of them, right here. You want to stamp the image that you want to cover, so you want stamp on top of it. And I like to use just plain Post-it note. You can use copy paper, it's just Post-it note. I love it because you get the little sticky in the back. So that's what we're going to be using. And what I do when I'm done with my piece, I keep it with my stamp set, so the next time I want to mask again with that, I don't have to do this again. You can use it over and over. Sometimes they get completely black, and that is fine. And if you see the stamp, I get the grass in the bottom. I'm not worried about the grass, so I just did the goose itself. So we're going to be stamping the goose with early espresso, but then I'm going to show you a little bit more than the masking in this. So even if you know masking, I bet you're going to learn maybe something, or I think it's a good way to switch the color. Let's get started. So I get the goose here. And I'm going to ink this in early espresso. Well, I don't want the grass in early espresso. Here I did it all in early espresso and it was too much early espresso. So I want the grass in crumb cake. So what I done, I ink my stamp. I'm using a rag, and this is like a rubber chamois, and it's wet a bit. So I'm just going to wipe where the grass is, and then I'm going to use my crumb cake marker, the side of the brush, and I'm going to do this. Even if you get a little bit of early espresso, don't worry about it. It's different color in the grass, and I just want it tone on tone, really. So this was perfect. Now I'm going to, when you do this, the ink gonna dry, so you want to huff on it, and then I'm gonna stamp one of the goose right here. So now let me show you what would happen if I would stamp 2 goose back to back. So if I stamp one ear, and I want them, they're close together, they're not walking by themselves, and if I would come here, stamp the other one, see, you get the tail inside his body, and it's not working, right? So we need to cover that. So now we're going to take this, and here they are. For some reason, those things want to walk someplace. I'm going to cover one of the goose, and we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to ink this in early espresso. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take my crumb cake, and that's the same thing if you want to stamp, you don't have the color ink, but you get the marker, you can always use your marker for a stamp pad. Well, for the ink, I should say. Now we're going to stamp that like they're walking side by side. Voila. Okay. Now you saw me with the marker. In case that the marker, it was some early espresso on it, what you want to do is just wipe your marker in case that you would mix it. See, this is a bit darker than the other one, so now I know my marker, it's clean. We're going to cover the other goose. Put that on top. See, that's what I like about the Post-it note. It's keep it in place. And one thing you want to make sure that you're gonna, I'm washing my stamp there, that you're gonna, where was I going with that? Now I lost my train of thought or whatever. It's, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm gonna think about it. Okay, now we're going to do, oops, not in early espresso. We're going to do the wheat in crumb cake. So let me close this ink pad. And we're going to stamp the wheat in crumb cake. Let me put a scrap paper in the back here. Come here. And see, now I can go right on top of the goose. Because if I would stamp on top of the goose, see what's going to happen? Well, then the wheat would be in the front, but it get all mixed. You could always have a little bit in the front so it look, the goose it's in between the wheat. That would be okay. But I want it in the back. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Okay, now we're going to remove this. And remove this. Voila. And we're going to color. And we won't do much coloring. I'm going to use my chalk marker. Going to do the top here. And then I'm going to color this part here. It's kind of his chest here. And even if it's swirgly a bit, that's okay. It's like feathers. See, I don't go on top of the feathers there. I'm just going to go right down here. I think that's pretty good. And then I use the Sarah sand because I just want to add a little bit of dimension or some depth in the bird. So I just use my, not the crumb cake, but the Sarah sand. I want it a little bit, just say to add some color here on the feathers. And I don't color the whole thing, just where it's highlighted. See how simple this was? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do one on top of it, like there in between the weeds. And we're going to see how this one looks. It's okay, but for me it's too much, so I rather have it just in the back. Now for the greeting, we're going to use, I don't want to lose those little guys. They seem they want to walk away. Here we go. I'm going to be stamping the Thinking of You with Early Espresso. And again, this, it's all in the same stamp set. One stamp set for this card. And we're going to cut that with the 1.5 circle. And I'm going to use the crumb cake. I just put crumb cake on my dauber here. I can use a bit more. It's just going to give more dimension. And when you sponge, you want to hold your paper tight and really give a good push on it. A lot of people tell me they get a tough time with sponging. It's because you hold your paper, and see, it's just, it don't grab. So you want to hold your paper tight and really put some pressure on that dauber so the ink gonna go on your paper. And now for the mat of this, it's going to be 1 3/4 in Early Espresso. Well, this is the mat that's going to go in the back of this. So why not taking our 1 3/4, punch that right in the middle, so we get our layer for that, because this is going to get covered on top of this. See? So I call that Let's Go Green. This is 4.5 by 3 1/4. Now we're going to mount that together. Because I got the hole there, I better get my card ready. Let's come here. Oops, I said this one inside the card. Okay, this is very vanilla, measure 5.5 by 8.5, score at 4.25, and now we get an A2 card. Just going to reinforce that. And then we're going to put tape here, tape there. Oh, 3/4 by 4.25 are crumb cake, just for a little border. And I don't know if I measured this, the bottom. Yeah, it's about right. If it happens it's a bit too long, don't worry about it. Just turn it in the back here and snip this off here. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to put this right here. Now that's the reason I wanted to put this first, because I didn't want to glue this on the table. It would have went through the hole there. And we're going to put that right here. And here it is. Now we're going to, this one I'm going to glue right on top of my early espresso. And then the early espresso, we're going to put dimensional in the back. And we're going to put that right about here. Here we go. Et voila, my friend. Very, very simple. So now you know the term of masking. So hope you enjoyed this. For all your Stampin' Up product, right above you get the little eye there. You can click on that. It's going to give you all the lists and the measurement on my blog at FrenchieStamps.com, or you get it below in the description there. Thank you. And again, this is for a blog op, so come and visit us right there at the link, so you can take the blog up and see more of the masking technique. Thank you and have a lovely day, my friends.